show you this one.
Oh my goodness. Oh. What's up, dude?
Are you a polar bear?
I don't know what blowing up is, but I know walking around with this sumbitch, I mean, it's like he is a superstar.
Whoa!
Whoa! Welcome back to the show, guys.
Who's this guy? Welcome back.
How we doing? How we
Reoccurring.
doing, boys? Big week last week, even bigger week this week. As we get down the stretch for NFL and college, the storylines get always a little bit better. Pressure gets a little bit higher. That Michigan story last week was big. It'll be big this week with that ruling coming up on Friday with Jim Harbaugh. They obviously, I think it ticked them off, got them even more motivated and fired up in the way they played against Penn State. I don't even think they attempted a pass in the second half.
No, not in the second half. Yeah. They had 8 passes in the first half. And then, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They were just running that thing.
Every play and win a football game because you have such confidence in your defense because you know that they can't move the ball. You have the lead, punt the ball, and make Penn State, who's right now struggling on offense, they couldn't do anything. So that was impressive. More importantly, I think it was just important, all the off-the-field stuff. Michigan kind of rallied the players. It's a veteran team. They kind of rallied around all that stuff going around them. And I think that'll continue this week and then get ready for Ohio State, Michigan the following week. We'll see what happens. And we'll see if Harbaugh's back because they're going to have that big ruling on Friday. There's a chance he'll be back on the sideline by the time they play Ohio State.
Oh, really? They're thinking about switching the ruling on that?
Yeah.
That quick?
Yeah.
Dang. I wanted to say the playoff committee, they've kind of had an interesting start to this, or these early standings. And there's been some big games by teams like Georgia, teams like Michigan, like we're talking about, and Ohio State looked pretty good this past game. It'll be interesting how they switch up that top 4.
I don't know if they really will. They might. Yeah. I've had Georgia and Michigan myself up at the top all year. Now, after being in Athens, and Jake, you were there. I mean, Georgia's healthy now. They're just at a different level. They're a behemoth. Their quarterback's got some experience. Their offensive line is just beating people up. Their backs are healthy. Ladd McConkey came back about 3 weeks ago. Now you got Brock Bowers back from that surgery. I mean, they're just... People can beat them. They play Alabama in a couple weeks in Atlanta for the SEC title. They can lose. I'm just saying right now, to me, there's Georgia and Michigan, and then I think it
Oregon.
would be
Oregon. I feel like Oregon's in there.
But Oregon has the one loss to Washington, so you can't.
Really I know they did.
But on the field, I
can't put them ahead.
Oregon's pretty legit.
They're pretty hot right now. Complete.
Washington, until they lose, they're going to play Oregon more than likely in a Pac-12 championship. You got Washington out there looking good. You have Ohio State. You have Florida State out there. There's just, first time in a long time, it's not, okay, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State. It's just nice to have only 3 weeks left of the football season. And, man, this thing is wide open. It makes it really exciting for the sport.
Like you said, Alabama does have a chance to get back into the conversation, and you wouldn't be mad about that, having them as your number one.
Yeah, that was my preseason.
I like Bama in there. I like Bama in there too.
That was my preseason pick. I think a lot of people wrote Bama off after they lost to Texas, and then they looked really bad the next week against USF. They benched Jalen Milroe, brought him back, and now over these last 5 weeks, they've kind of found their identity. I just think it's kind of like Bill Belichick with the Patriots, and I know they're struggling, but first sign of trouble, people just want to write off Saban. It's over. He's done. And it's like, let's just give the guy a chance to recalibrate, which is what he's done. And now he's got a team that, man, that Alabama-Georgia game cannot get the Ohio State-Michigan game and the Alabama-Georgia game cannot get here fast enough. Like, those are going to be must-see TV, both those games.
Hell yeah.
No doubt.
That'll be awesome. Guys, can we address something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jake, let's address something. This kid behind you laying on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's been blowing up on social media lately.
My God.
Have you seen this thing? Have you seen him?
I don't pay attention to I don't know what blowing up is, but I know walking around with this sumbitch, I mean, it's like He is a superstar.
He's an icon.
Certified dog.
It's not only on the social media. Like, everybody loves him in person.
Oh,
He's just a fluffy mess.
Oh
They're
my
like,
gosh.
"Where's Ben? Where is?"
People know his name now.
Yeah, he just casually walks over to a tailgate. Like, Jake and I will be walking. You know how he is. He's off leash. You just kind of walk, and he'll just, if somebody says his name, he'll just randomly walk over to him and check their tailgate out. And he's like, "What do you got on that table over there? Like, is that a ham and cheese sandwich? What do you got over there?" He was walking the streets of Chicago. He found some squirrels in Chicago, and then he was all over Athens. The cool thing is, I take him on the field pregame, and he just kind of strolls around. Last week, he's rolling on his back.
He walks in that place like he owns the joint.
Yeah, he's like, we're out for a walk or something. He's just very chill. You guys obviously know. I'll show you this one. Let's see if I can show you the kid.
There he is. Benny.
Benjamin
Franklin.
There he is. Benjamin.
Oh, my goodness.
Benny boy.
He came back to life.
Benjamin.
What's up, dude? What's up, ball? How you doing, bro?
Are you kidding?
Are you an animal? Are you a polar bear?
Ben, you're going to Baltimore, JMU, and then you're going all the way, buddy, the long flight to Corvallis. And then you're coming to Corvallis back home. We'll have to get you out doing some calisthenics.
It's gonna be a hike.
Yeah. Still has some green.
Hang in there, Ben.
Benny still has some green on his eyes from the field between the hedges in Georgia.
What are we doing in Georgia? Yeah, we aren't thinking about Ben when we're painting the field green. Benny went and rolled on his back and got all in that stuff. He came up with his whole eye green after that one.
Hey, the ladies liked it though. I'll tell you what.
Man, makes friends everywhere. Makes friends everywhere.
That was my fault. I kind of like took the leash and pointed him in the direction, and
I'm sure. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, they were inside because of the rain. Saw an opportunity for the kid, the other guy.
Well, Ben's the man. Ben's the man.
Yeah, like you said, he's become an internet sensation the last couple of weeks.
Rightfully so.
I mean, I'm seeing all these posts, like just random people posting them. Like someone got a different angle of Ben rolling on the field, and then like some betting site with like 1 million followers on Instagram was posting them, like that feeling when you win a parlay. So he's like a meme now. He's like a meme. It's hilarious.
People are like jealous that we've been hiding him in the dark for so long, keeping him to ourselves.
And the crazy thing is, he's 9, but he's been this way since he's been about 2 or 3. He's just here's my other one right here. You guys know this guy. That's Theo. Theo hasn't been introduced. He just sitting in the chair right there.
That's a good look at Theo. Proud of him.
Yeah.
Hey, wait for Mitchell too. The horse is running around somewhere. Where's the horse?
Hey, Mitch. Come up here.
Watch this horse.
Yeah, they're all trained from Ben, so they all got the same demeanor.
Mitch is a Clydesdale. Yeah,
he's a monster.
Trained by Ben.
And then what's crazy is we're thinking about bringing in number 4.
Wow.
We saw
is
the
this
picture.
A public announcement?
We're going back to the same breeder that has been really good to us. So
don't spread the word.
Yeah,
though.
we'll keep that on the down low.
The breeder getting.
I need a dog. Yeah. I need a dog one day too. Yeah, let's calm down.
Yeah, we won't tell you who the breeder is. They're 3 for 3 on that front.
Let's take a little quick look at Oregon State playing Washington this weekend. How do you feel about their chances? They're in the rankings pretty high up there. I think like a 12 or so. That quarterback DJ Oyungole been struggling, but kind of finding his rhythm. Do you think they have a chance to maybe upset these guys?
Well, 2 things. Number 1, as we were talking, Mom dropped every Monday. I get my boards, so these are before I put all the writing on them. This is the board. So when I'm calling a game, that's Utah's offense and Washington's defense, and then I'll flip it over. And so all week I'll gather up, talking to coaches and players, and I'll get all my information, and then I'll put down relevant things on this board. And then here's my Ravens and Bengals, Lamar Jackson, and all the Ravens on offense, and the Bengals defense, and then Burrow and all of his playmakers, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and all those guys. So I think with the The Utah game last week tested Washington again. You know, they've had some tough tests out in that Pac-12 all year long, but last week they got tested again. They were able to survive it. Now you get Oregon State. You know, of course, they played Oregon earlier at home, found a way to win that one. More than likely match up with Oregon again, which, as Tye said earlier, might be the best team in the country with a veteran quarterback.
They're heating up.
Knicks. And if they survive this one, they've got a rivalry game against Washington State, and then they go to Las Vegas to play Oregon in a rematch. So this will be tough. DJ's a good player, but people don't really know it because they don't follow Oregon State. They won 10 games last year. Their coach is a guy named Jonathan Smith. And even though it's Pac-12 football, they play like a Big Ten, old school Big Ten style of football. That's why I think DJ fits in so well. They are roll up their sleeves and test your manhood type of team. And DJ, instead of carrying the offense like he tried to do at Clemson, it's more of, we're going to run the ball, and we're going to be in 2 tight ends and 3 tight ends. And then if you have to worry about that run game, we're going to hit some play action. And it really puts him in a place to be much more successful, which he's done this year. So it's a good fit. And Washington, as we know, their defense is somewhat vulnerable, although they can make plays. It's all been Michael Penix. And
the big Penix energy.
Yeah, they're just very explosive, great receivers. So it's two contrasting styles kind of matching up in that game. And it's on the road, going on the road in late November with everything on the line for Washington, got everything to lose. So I think it'll be a tough matchup for them.
That was cool to see your boards right there. And a lot of people don't know about that stuff. A lot of notes about to be written down on those things.
I was about to say, you got a blank canvas over there. I bet it's getting to you a little bit. I bet you want to get out of here, but we're going to ask you about this Bengals-Ravens game. And what do you think's on the line here? Bengals are heating up, even though they lost this past week. But in the grand scheme of things, they have been.
Jake, I think that's what makes it interesting is the fact they both lost, I think makes this game this week, especially for the Bengals. This is I hate to say must win at the 10th game of the season, but with the way the AFC North is starting to stack up, you have the Ravens up there doing really well. Steelers are finding ways to win games, even though it's not been pretty. And then, of course, the Browns have been one of the surprise stories all year and just knocked off Baltimore. So the Bengals can't really afford to lose another game, especially within their division. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's must win, like they're done if they don't win, but they've kind of been backed into a corner. They were playing great football from the San Fran game on. Burrow is finally healthy. And now you got to go on the road on a short week off of a loss and take on the Ravens, who are going to be in a bad mood off of a loss. But the big thing to me is it's Lamar Jackson, who's one of the faces of the game and is healthy with a new offensive coordinator, and Joe Burrow, who's healthy. Hopefully T. Higgins can play this week to get all his weapons back. But I think it'll be good versus good. I think they're both going to play well. Just a matter of who can kind of catch a break and find a way to win it at the end. But I think it'll be a really good game.
It's always a good matchup. It's a rivalry game. That's a big one. And then Ohio State Buckeye, C.J. Stroud. This guy's on pace to be Rookie of the Year easily. You've been watching him play. This dude's
They just
super
played
clutch.
the Bengals last week, right?
Back-to-back game-winning drives.
Yeah, I watched him. I've watched a lot of him. We had him on game day a few weeks ago in Columbus on their bye week. It was good to catch up with him. I've known him for a few years now. He's I think the benefit of playing at Ohio State and being on that big stage, it hurt him early in his career when they lost to Oregon at home, and he heard a lot of noise on Twitter and took it personally. But I think going through those kind of experiences, losing to Michigan twice, I think really hurt him. And the feedback from his own fans really hurt him. But I think it really hardened him to get to the NFL. And I think now he's like, compared to what I've been dealing with, this is nothing compared to what I've been dealing with. That might sound crazy, but that's kind of the lunacy of that fan base and how much pressure they put on you. So he goes to Houston where there's very little expectations because they're supposed to lose, and he's playing well. And he's all of a sudden become not, it was once, it was twice. Now it's become, this is who he is, and this is who this new team is. They got a new head coach, and D'Amico Ryans, who's a young guy, came over from San Fran as a D coordinator. He's got great energy in that locker room. They become one of the great stories, I think, of the entire season. And of course, what CJ's doing is not only maybe rookie of the year, I think he's in some discussions if he keeps going. I mean, you could argue that he's in the top 5 for the NFL MVP. And in that discussion, if he keeps playing at this level. So you don't see rookies perform at this level very often. He's making everybody around him better, which is your job. And the dude just last week, he had to make a drive at the end of the game to get him in field goal range against Cincinnati on the road. Delivered a couple clutch throws. Teammates helped him out, got in field goal range, and won the game. So he's performing when he needs to make plays under some stress. And now he's become a player and a team. We're already looking forward to seeing what he'll do this week. So yeah, it's been a great story. How about this? They're only a game out of first because Jacksonville lost to San Fran.
Yeah, they got crushed.
Yeah, and you start to look, who they still have to play. I'm just looking at their schedule right now. Coming up, they have the Cardinals this week at home, and then they have the Jaguars at home, who are a game ahead of them. So Trevor better keep his foot on the gas because I don't think Houston, if anything, they're just gaining momentum. And if you look who they have to play, they have the Titans twice. They have the Colts to play.
Wins.
They have the Broncos to play. They have the Cardinals to play. They could very easily get to like 11 wins. I mean, if they get to 11 wins, they're going to be in the postseason.
It's cool to see a team, all they need is a quarterback, and then they can just flip the whole script. So
yeah, they've done a good job
cool
of drafting too. Like Jake made a good point. We saw them last year, and it was like there were pieces because of their draft that they've been able to bring in, but they were just like a player and a new head coach away from really creating a new energy. And then the other thing is you got to get some wins stacked up. They started 0-2 at the beginning of the year, and it was like, here they go again. And now all of a sudden, you look at what they've done. They've won 3 of their last 4, and they put in a little string together, and they put themselves in the mix. So it's like you guys say, it's fun to see some fresh faces and some new blood fighting for a playoff spot.
I think we're going to let you go. Right. Thank you so much for joining us. Some great insight on NFL and college there. And thanks for showing us, Ben. Made our day.
Yeah.
Still sleeping, by the way.
I'll see you soon, Benny. Love you, kid.
Yeah,
we squashed our beef with Ben. We're cool. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Ben's the man.
He's the man.
We're on the same team. All right,
boys.
Appreciate it, Dad.
All right. See ya.
We love you.
Love you.
See it.
All right, guys, one final last segment here. Freak of the week this week. Ty, who are you thinking for yours? Because I got to think about mine.
I'm going to go not with a singular person, but I'm going with the 49ers defense. They balled out. I think they had like 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and Fred Warner right in the middle of that defense. I mean, they won like 27-3. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but they were getting active. They're also my defense in fantasy, so I always love to see them do well. So, what you got, Jake?
Being at the Georgia game, it's got to be Ladd McConkey. It was his birthday, and he showed out. He had 1 big touchdown, and then got one down to the 1-yard line because it was underthrown by Beck. But yeah, he had to be my freak of the week for sure.
I saw that little double move right there, and then he like juked out another like 3 guys. He almost got in the end zone there. That would have been like a top 10 play easy.
I was in the coaches meetings with my dad, listening to like how they break down all the players. Kirby Smart, he said Ladd is one of the fastest players on the team by far. Like he's top 3 fastest players, and obviously you wouldn't like think that by looking at him compared to the other freaks that they have on the roster there. But
they have a lot of,
he's a freak. He's fast. He got that quick twitch.
Yeah, definitely. You could see it on that double move.
Yeah.
And if you slow it down right there, that dude get cooked.
All right, let's jump into the game talk section of the show, Ty.
Let's go.
Call of Duty just came out this past week. Let's hear your initial thoughts.
Yeah.
I know I got mine. Let's hear yours.
Yeah, there's a reason we only had 2 movies this week that we saw, and we didn't watch as many games, or we did watch games, but there was something else going on this weekend, and it was the Call of Duty release. I'm just going to say right off bat, I have my snipers, they're already platinum, and my knives are already platinum. So I've been grinding the game pretty aggressively. Let's get into your thoughts. You have a little bit of a different perspective than I do about this game.
I just commend you for being able to push yourself and get these camos done already. As soon as I got the game, like I was so pumped when I got back Sunday from the Athens trip. I wasn't pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. The UI is just like a little messy. We get in there, the guns, they transferred over from the last Call of Duty, so I'm trying to rank really up my level 1 guns against people who don't feel like ranking up, which might be me pretty soon. I might just be that guy. But yeah, so like it just feels a little messy. It feels like the maps are like I'm not like OG enough to like be like, oh my gosh, nostalgia for Modern Warfare 2 maps. Yeah, I was still in the womb,
2009.
I feel like. So
yeah. If you did play back then, like you want to play different maps. It's cool like for a little bit nostalgia wise, but then you're like they really just copy and pasted for real. So
yeah, there's this thing called the armory system where you have to select different attachments from different guns to rank up one at a time, and I feel like there's not enough attachments. There's not even
it's
like
field upgrades, it's weapons, there's a lot of like if you want the karambit knife that I was hyping up, you have to do these armory challenges. That was my first go-to unlock out of the armory, and it said I had to get like 2 Simtex kills and something else. I go to throw the Simtex on my thing, and it says I have to unlock the Simtex by getting these daily challenges. So I had to go. I ended up using a default class. Because I'm like, I can't even equip a Simtex to get these kills that it wants me to get the kills with. So, kind of annoying. The only thing it is good for is getting those attachments. Like, you could get, like, attachment that you would unlock, like, later on with the gun. But also, that's such, like, a problem that they implemented themselves. Like, we could have got these attachments where you level up the gun and then you get all the attachments for the gun. But they made it to where you have to use different guns to get different attachments. It's very confusing. I know I'm trying to explain it, but
mind you, there's
it's a clusterfuck.
So in order to get the unlock, and different rarities of items have bigger qualifications that you need to do in order to unlock them. There's only 3 daily challenges, and after you do those, you have to win each game. And then Tye and I are playing together with like trash teammates. So I got like 2 wins in the course of like an hour. So if you do the math, it's going to take like so damn long to unlock anything.
No one's trying to win.
So it just
no one tries to win the games.
It just made me depressed, to be quite honest. Yeah. So like I have not had the motivation to grind the game. The zombies mode also is like Warzone-esque, and it's like you're just driving around, and it's not like a traditional round-based system. It's really sad, but
game crashed.
Tye and I did try it out. Game crashed after we tried to exfil. We tried to use zombies to like upgrade or rank up quicker.
Our weapons.
They said, we're just gonna crash your game.
Lagged out.
So
nothing mattered that we did. It is fun though, the movement aspect of it. It is fun to juke people out. I'm getting back aggressive. I have some pretty good clips with the snipers because the TTK is longer, which makes the snipers better. Just because it takes more shots to kill you. So
sniping was fun. The first sniper was cool.
I did hit a nasty little clip with the CAT AMR. I posted it. Didn't do great, but I mean, I still hit a no scope, little like cross terminal. It was pretty aggressive, and then I finished it off with a little animation where I throw this guy up in the air. So that was cool to see. Yeah, I was mainly just using the snipers. I was having fun sniping. Don't get me wrong. Like it was a good time sniping. Jake, I don't know if he's having the best time personally, but
I had a good time sniping, but I just think the aimed on sight speed is slow even with all the upgrades. I had grinded all day for these attachments for my sniper, and I still didn't feel like it was quick enough for me to be happy. I
was having fun like sniping, getting platinum for my stuff. I'm just trying to look good for S&D. I mean, I want to twirl that thing around pregame, like before I go in and fuck some people up. Yeah, dude, the snipers feel good though. Like, there's only one real sniper in the game, which is that CAD AMR, and then there's also the longbow, which is it's a bolt action sniper, super fast, bro. I gotta show you this build. I'll pop it up right here. Y'all go try this thing out for yourselves. It's really aggressive. It's not a sniper in my eyes, but it is like Car 98-esque. So try it out if you want to have some fun and hit some clips. So
I would be having more fun if I could unlock the ARs in the game faster, because some of them are locked behind those grind walls.
Yeah,
and
well, you can exfil.
I was hitting hit markers for days, and it was not a great time. Yeah, that's true. There is ways around it, but it shouldn't be that hard to unlock a gun that's in the game.
Yeah. Little pro tip: if you go into zombies and you pick up a weapon you don't have that you're supposed to unlock in the armory, just pick it up, get out of there, and then that gun's automatically unlocked. That goes with the lethals and tacticals as well. So if you find something in zombies that you don't have, pick it up, get out. And then meta-wise, it's looking like it's leaning towards the Rival 9 SMG. This is like what the pro players are running right now. Jowo, Shotzzy, guys like that, they're all running the Rival 9. It has like a really fast time to kill and fast fire rate, so...
Yeah, or you can join me over on Fortnite. We're having a great time. The OG map's still back.
I did have a great, yeah.
We played a few games of S&D, and we were like, oh, this sucks. And then we were like, oh, let's hop over on Fortnite. And then we had a great time. And Zach and I and Tye got aggressive on there. They're adding, like, slowly in the stuff that they did in the Season 5, I think, for that year. It was cool. We had a good time. Snow map is back this week.
It's a great switch up from the camo grind. If you guys are struggling with the camo grind of Modern Warfare and you need a break and you don't want to get off the game, just hop on Fortnite. It's where it's at right now. It's probably the most fun. I mean, I think Modern Warfare will be more fun once we upgrade the weapons, get all the attachments unlocked. It's just annoying right now.
GTA 6 finally got announced. We're a little late to this one, obviously, but everybody's pumped for this trailer to drop in the upcoming weeks.
It's coming soon.
They announced it on Twitter and or X.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's excited for this. This has been like the biggest news in the gaming world in like a long time. So we're all excited about that one. Hopefully that
trailer is going to be released soon. We'll check it out.
Yeah, we'd definitely be checking that one out.
Rockstar, apparently they're taking their time with this one. I mean, they're obviously taking their time with this one, but they're trying to get everything right for this game.
I was thinking about this the other day, like GTA 5 has had so much time. They've given control to like players to create, and like we've probably seen some of the coolest things through GTA 5 just because it's been sitting there and like people have had so much time to experiment. And I hope they like take a little note out of that and like try to implement it, but I don't think it'll be in like the place it's people expect it to be for like another few years in terms of the content that the workshop people use.
All right, next we're moving on to some tech news. We talked about Grok last week. ChatGPT, they came up with a new update. You can create your own custom GPTs where you can like put a whole book into it, and then like people can go and you can like make money.
You can build a GPT, a customized version of ChatGPT for almost anything. You can list a GPT there, and we'll be able to feature the best and the most popular GPTs. Revenue sharing is important to us. We're going to pay people who build the most useful and the most used GPTs a portion of our revenue.
So that's going to change the landscape a little bit for ChatGPT. They just announced that this year. And then you can also use extensions like CapCut, editing apps. Like people can crank out content and that way. So it's looking like some interesting times in the AI world. So we'll see how that pans out, how Grok responds. Grok's cool because it doesn't have the restrictions that ChatGPT has. So you can tell it to like talk like some shit to ChatGPT. That was happening this past week. Grok actually did respond. They were asking it who's going to win in a street fight between you and ChatGPT. So it was talking shit. Let's just say that.
Awesome.
It didn't care about this new update.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say too, I found out its character, like the Grok character, is based off this book that I want to read. Apparently it's like a quick one. It's called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. And it's got that kind of comedy in it, mixed in with like a philosophy book. So like I think that'd be an interesting one. Shout out if you
Grok's
like reading
in there now?
books. Yeah. No, it's his personality is based off the character that's in that book. He said that on Lex Friedman's podcast.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, shout out Lex Friedman. He's the man.
Dana White booked the Sphere for a UFC bout coming up within the next year or so. So that should be awesome. He said there's a lot of things they need to get done before that, but he accepts the challenge, and I mean that would be just electric in there.
One more thing to mentioning Dana. Shout out to him like partnering with Modern Warfare 3, even though it's kind of stinky right now. They like used it to promote some of their stuff. So I thought it was cool that they had a little sponsorship.
The Sphere also promoted Call of Duty on like the outside of it as well. Right. So that was cool to see that too.
MetaQuest 3, Tye sent this video in of somebody playing the piano, and it's just like those piano tutorials on YouTube, but it's like in your like actual augmented world. And you don't have to look at like the computer, like am I on the right key? Like it'll help you out.
It just highlights the keys you're supposed to hit, and it comes like it's like you're playing Guitar Hero, like in real life. So, I mean, that's going to be an absolute weapon. It might look a little weird with that on your face, but if you can get the muscle memory down, you'll be all right.
Be a great way to practice. Yeah, I think it's sick.
What if like I just went to some like nice restaurant and I was like playing the piano there, and I just had my MetaQuest on, and I was like,
if the pianist calls in sick, somebody's going to have to pull out the Quest 3 and get it done.
Just like in the tux with the MetaQuest 3. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I think we're moving on to movies. That was a fun section. Moving on to movies.
Yeah.
Movie talk.
Let's fucking go. All right, Tye. Let's hear the movies we've seen recently.
So, The Killer, directed by David Fincher.
Huh? You got to check it out?
Yeah, I did. But, guys, here's the deal. I think I told you guys to go watch this one in the theater, and I didn't even uphold that standard.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
No one was playing it near me, like in the theaters. I was looking for it, but I didn't see it. Like we mentioned last time, it's the Fassbender guy. He's from Inglourious Bastards. He's an Irish actor, but he had an American accent in this one, which was kind of weird to hear him with no accent. He's basically a hitman trying to kill people. He's hired to kill this guy, and then something happens to lead him to kill a lot of other people. That's all I'm going to say there. The plot was really interesting, and he kept repeating the same phrases. I don't know if you've seen the TV show You. It reminded me of You like a lot. Like he's talking to himself, but it's like with what's going on in the movie.
Stick to your plan. Anticipate. Don't improvise.
When you're looking at him, the music you can't barely hear. It's like if you're like in the room with him and like you could kind of like barely hear his music. And then when you're looking through his eyes, the subjective view, it's like loud music. Switching between the two different point of views. There's probably 5 words spoken like by the actual character in the first 30 minutes of the movie. It's all like in his head. And this kid's a head case. It's like a kicker who's thinking to himself before a kick, but he has a sniper. Like it's basically that.
But it's understandable because he's killing people.
Yeah. There's a director, famous director, Hitchcock. He's known for Rear Window. It's a lot of like looking around, kind of like I said, the subjective camera movement from this window. And there's a lot of that throughout the whole movie. You don't even feel like you're watching a movie. You're just like looking through his eyes.
I like that kind of stuff. Yeah, you mentioned Hitchcock. I think he's like one of the first few people to like really utilize the subjective stuff. And if you don't know what subjective camera is, it's like just like what Ty's explaining it as. It's looking through the eyes of the person that you're following.
And then I felt another sense of proficiency, kind of like No Country for Old Men. Like this guy knew what he was doing. Like it was James Bond-esque, where he's like going in a what's it called, like storage unit, and there's like 50 license plates, like one for every state. Like he's like picks one out and like it's like magnetic on his car. It's like, yeah, this guy's just out of his mind though. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody. And let me just get into the cinematography. Like I said, there's some shaky following shots to build the tension when like something bad's happening. Like there's like a guy chasing him.
Is it more like handheld camera than?
Yeah, handheld like follow shot. There's a lot of logos in this one to make you feel like this could be a real thing. There's FedEx, McDonald's, like rental car companies, Advil, Amazon. He likes to put these brands in here because he used to make commercials back in the day. And the killer for the soundtrack, it's like a really unsettling score.
I find music a useful distraction. A focus tool. Keeps the inner voice from wandering.
And it's like one of those where he kind of used it in The Social Network like a little bit, where it's like random sounds, him like repeating stuff over and over, and then like almost robotic sounding like suspense element.
Never yield an advantage.
And I almost had to turn down the TV a little bit because like it was just too much at some points. So, and then there's one of my favorite scenes. There's a dog that like runs through the glass.
Holy fuck!
I thought that was my favorite scene in the whole movie because you're like, holy shit, this thing is like a killing machine. So
Oh, really? Okay.
that was probably my favorite thing.
Nice. Sounded like a cool one though, dude. What was your rating on that?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Just because the cinematography was great. The actual plot just felt they like made it up as they went. Like it didn't feel like it had like a specific ending in mind.
I watched a movie that had a similar premise in terms of a guy going out hired to kill people, but it's more like killing things. This one was Blade Runner, based in 2019, futuristic, like a sci-fi film. This was like a noir film. It's got some grime. It's based in like a futuristic Los Angeles. There's things called replicants, which they're stronger, they're smarter, and they were slaves on an off-world colony until they did an uprising, and then they were banned from the world. And these people called Blade Runners are the task force that are assigned to eliminate them. Yeah, so the plot is following Deckard, which is, oh baby, our favorite guy, Harrison Ford from Star Wars.
Let's go.
He's playing his smug classic self, but then he's put in situations where he overacts some of these scenes where he gets hit around by these guys a little bit.
More than you.
But I love him. He's a great character, and I'm invested whenever he's in.
Do you get some like Indiana Jones, some Han Solo vibes from him, or?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of Indiana Jones vibes. There's two different versions of the movie that came out. There's a theatrical release, which was altered by the studios to make it more consumable for like the average viewer. So they added narration in it, and they changed the ending to make it more happy and sweet. But then there was a Ridley Scott cut, who's the director of this one, where he is more ambiguous with the ending and throughout doesn't have any narration. Harrison Ford, you can tell, is like completely mailing in these narrations because he's not happy about having to do them, because they definitely did them in post.
They don't advertise for killers in a newspaper. That was my profession. Ex-cop. Ex-Blade Runner.
Yeah, it's only at the beginning, at the end, where the narration happens, because they're trying to like make sense of it.
And Ridley Scott made the original Alien, and
Yes.
he's also making the
Napoleon.
this
is coming out.
upcoming Napoleon movie.
So like the establishing shots in this movie are awesome. You really get to dive into this world of like, if you ever seen the video game Cyberpunk 2047, this is like what it's inspired from. There's a lot of neon lights. There's a lot of mist and fog and like lights coming in through windows and stuff that like make the set super interesting. There's like Japanese culture integrated into this Los Angeles future, which I thought was a cool touch. All this is like shot in like the early 80s, so their idea of like a 2019 is like super futuristic. Yeah, so like there's a payphone in there with a video, like a FaceTime unit, but like it's still like a public payphone, so you like gotta like make a public call instead of having like a phone in your hand. There's newspapers. I thought that was funny. Like he was using news. Like obviously they're still around
Still
today,
prevalent.
but not as
But not
common
as
to
much.
just be like, yeah, like I'm a 40-year-old man and I'm reading the newspaper. Like normally you just look everything up on Twitter. There's computer boxes, like big ass like thick computers that are boxy, and like it's supposed to be like set up to this super specific equipment, like that's like super high advanced technology, and it just wasn't. There's a funny scene where he does like analyze, zoom in, enhance that.
Enhance 34 to 36.
If you ever seen that meme about like enhancing the images and stuff, this is the OG of that. He like zooms in like 150 times and still get a clear image in like a mirror
Wait,
reflection.
pause that.
Yeah.
Pause that. Zoom in. Enhance that image.
The Jason Bourne stuff. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get the soundtrack score. It's like strange and sci-fi, but then it's also mixed in with some like noir jazz that's like typical with those kind of like mystery films. There's a chase scene that's involved that felt very grounded in the story. And the slow-mo is matching the score, and it does a really good job because it's like a super big moment for Harrison Ford's character, like trying to learn about himself and like if he wants to still do this thing. There's great attention to detail throughout this movie. There's like piano notes where Harrison's like pressing like the keyboard and it matches the score like perfectly, and it's like a seamless thing where you're like, is that happening in the movie or is that just happening like behind the scenes? And it's like it's all meshed together, so I thought that was a cool thing. One time Harrison Ford takes a sip of a shot glass after a fight and some blood drips into the glass with the perfect lighting to kind of just show you that he's still hurt. They set up lights to flash off people's eyes, like to show what's fake. There's like artificial animals in this world, and there's artificial humans, obviously. Like there's a way to like shine a light on a character to make their eyes look like robotic. So I thought that was a cool touch. And then there's a lot of interactions with Harrison Ford's character that are just like not necessarily for the plot, but it's like really letting you feel like you're in a city setting. Like not everything happening on camera is going to be necessary to further along the plot. So I think that's a nice touch. All right, the theatrical ending. He drives off into the sunset with his girl, and it's like you can tell that this is like kind of really out of place. But the funny thing with that is it's actually unused shots from Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, like the opening scene with all the mountains and stuff. That's played at the end of the movie there. And then Ridley Scott's ending, one of Harrison Ford's cop buddies, he like makes little origami shapes just for fun, and that's like riddled throughout the movie. He picks that up, and it's like a unicorn from a prior dream that he had. And the dreams from the replicants are all like memories that have been forced into their heads to make them feel like they're real, because they can be more productive that way. So that shows an inkling that Harrison Ford himself might potentially be one of these replicants also. And that's only in this Ridley Scott ending. Yeah, it's way more ambiguous. Yeah. I thought that the plot here, like when we're talking about the movie, in my opinion, was like, it just kind of felt hard to follow, because like it's obviously a mystery, so it's supposed to be hard to follow, but you're also dealing with people that are supposed to be humans and aren't, so they might not have the same rationale as us. But yeah, so like that kind of shined through as like a thing that made like the ending, like in the third act, kind of feel weird to me. So I didn't like it as much as everybody might at the time did, but I think they liked it more for the set pieces and like the sci-fi and like this new world that they were introduced to. I'll go with a 3.7 on this.
I'll have to check that one out, and the 2049 one.
Yeah, looking forward to the Ryan Gosling remake.
All right, that's going to do it for the movies we've seen recently. Now we're going to dive into coming soon.
Coming soon to theaters.
Zack Snyder, he's coming out with this Rebel Moon Part 1 and it's coming out on Netflix, and I don't know how I feel about that.
When I found you in the wreckage of that ship, I considered leaving you. I was afraid you could bring trouble to us.
What do you think they want?
Everything.
We're just farmers. We're not a threat.
Those guys look like they
won't just
straight
kill
up
us, will
Dune.
they?
Yeah, I was gonna say Dune,
You're delusional. You think those soldiers will show
and
them
then
mercy?
kind of the creator.
Stop.
Is this based on like a video game or something?
Oh, it's Tomb
Or
Raider?
is this just like a... No, I don't think so.
We're gonna have to fight.
Something Moon
Child of
Raider
War.
or something. Rebel
Find
Moon.
warriors to fight with us.
Rebel Moon. Yeah.
We might stand a chance.
A lot of moon talk in these movies. A lot of moons and the...
We're searching for soldiers for a fight against the mother world.
I could help you. For a small fee, obviously. You might want to hold on.
I don't know.
I'm here to make
They
you an
tried to
offer,
get that one guy who played Venom
to
for
give
that
you a
role for
chance
sure.
at redemption.
He's trying to play
Yeah.
that character.
Are beyond redemption.
What about revenge?
I have some interesting points to make about this thing.
This isn't just pursuit of revolution.
This is the soundtrack score.
The
for
most
the
wanted
trailer.
fugitive in the known universe.
It's a long one. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not checking this one out. Well, the one reason I wanted to bring this thing up was because, I mean, you guys saw the trailer right there. How do you expect someone to have the best watching experience in their living room, like on their TV? This kind of movie with all the CGI and stuff, like this only works on a screen.
Yeah.
Like Jake, you said it reminded you of Dune a little bit. Dune is an interesting movie because when that one came out, it was released on HBO Max at the same time it was released in theaters. And that was like kind of the first time that happened. And a lot of people who don't like going to the movies, they watched it on HBO Max. Everyone I talked to who said, yeah, I didn't like that movie, I was like, where'd you watch it on? They were like, HBO Max. And I was like, that's why. Boom.
Yeah.
You got to go sit in that Hans Zimmer score, let the music hit you, get your popcorn going, cherry Coke as well. Yeah, like this is not a movie that needs to be released on Netflix. Like to give it a chance, it needs to be released in theaters.
What I think is, because Zack Snyder has had trouble with this in the past, his creative control with his movies. And I bet Netflix gives him the flexibility to make this thing as long as he needs it to be.
All right, another trailer I wanted to check out. We talked about it last week. Chris Pratt's voicing of Garfield. The trailer dropped today, actually, on Monday.
Oh, wow.
We're going to check it out.
OG Garfield movie slept. Okay. Okay, we got a shot already. Definitely.
Jake's already in. Jake's already bowed. It's like Poe and the Radish Bin.
This is about
What are you
to
talking
switch
about?
on its head. I already know.
It's gonna be some lasagna thing, dude. You already know. Oh!
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like, oh,
alright.
poor
We're
Garfield,
good.
and then he's about to house a whole pizza. Yeah, just wait.
He's about to house it, dude.
Oh. Oh. Hi there, little
You
buddy.
little chubby guy. Little puppy.
Yeah, it's gonna transition to the future, and he's gonna be a fat fuck.
Yeah. I already know. Fast forward
You hungry, little
3
guy?
years.
From this moment forward.
You want a little more?
Whoa!
And that's how I adopted John.
Okay, now have you ever been with a plate? Don't eat a spatula.
No, please, no. Ow, it's so hot. Ow, it's really hurting. Ow, ow,
You deserve to be seen with somebody as fly.
Say when. Never, John. Bury me in cheese. I apologize in advance. The eating you're about to see will not be pretty. And if you have young children, this would be a good time for them to leave the room.
You ain't never seen nobody this fly.
Hey, Junior, this is Vic, my father.
You ever jumped a train?
I've
Bro.
never jumped.
Here's that stuff.
What was that?
Really? Where?
That boy wide as hell.
Oh, Odie, you think he'd see that coming?
Let's get it. I deserve to be
What's up with the caption?
with somebody as fly.
I know. It's like a TikTok, but a trailer. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm good on that. I like the idea that they tried to go for, but I read it like a book.
Well, it's a kids movie. If you got kids, it might be worth it. Stranger Things season 5, the finale got announced by Netflix. This is the kind of thing you do watch on Netflix. I had a great time with Stranger Things over the years. Started watching it in high school when it came out, a little bit in college. They always have the great music. I watch it pretty much for the soundtrack and just for the nostalgia, because it makes me feel like I'm living in the 80s.
Yeah, I loved all these characters, and it's been fun watching them. I honestly have had a hard time getting to the climaxes of the seasons. Like the big finales at the end, but this last one was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was good.
Season 4 was awesome. I love the way the Soviet Union was involved and the prisons and everything.
What?
Well, I don't know what that is, but yeah, this.
It's
this
that Running Up the Hill song, bro. The last one,
I gotta watch a recap, but I'm pretty sure that Hopper went down and we thought he was done, but then there was an echo, and Eleven's like, "Yo, is my homie back?"
No, yeah, the last season I just remember they had the cool bad guy who was actually scary.
Yeah, that guy was actually scary.
And then I wanted to say we watched the Ferrari trailer a couple weeks ago. I remember I watched it and I was like, I don't know about that CGI right there with there's a car crash and it looked pretty cornball-esque. But here's Adam Driver's response to what happened right there.
What do you think about crash scenes? They look pretty harsh, drastic, and I must say cheesy for me. What do you think about them?
You, I don't know. Next question.
There you go. Fuck you, I don't know. All right, that's the go-to answer from now on. Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when we upload.
Yeah, let us know if you guys want any single out reviews of movies or games or anything like that. And we're gonna get out of here. GG's.
GG.